I might need a credential too.
Blocked off, meaning we can use them, or they're blocked off?
No, blocked off for dignitaries and family and friends of Coach Richardson. So, with that, Coach?
Any questions? No, we're looking forward to obviously Sunday's exhibition game. I think it's going to be a great game for the entire state, and it's a great event for Coach Walker's team, and certainly for our group as well. And then you add in the fact that it really is a special opportunity to honor Coach Richardson, and then the new court. Really special day. Much more meaningful than just what would normally be a normal exhibition game. This kind of takes on a life of its own, and I think it's going to be a great game for all the people involved. And it's been really neat for me to get some phone calls from former players. Talked to Corey Beck yesterday, talked to Clint McDaniel the other day. I think a lot of the former players are really looking forward to this game as well. And then you add in the fact that Coach Walker, an all-time great Razorback player, is coaching the opposing team, makes it even more intriguing. Any questions?
Kind of what is your philosophy on exhibition games? I mean, as far as the importance of winning them versus, getting everybody in and
Yeah, I think this is a little bit unique than just a normal exhibition game. I think that because of the statewide stuff, it adds intrigue for sure. But philosophically, we want to try to look at different combinations. That's partly what you do even in non-conference play. We're trying to still figure out who we are, what our identity is, rotations, who's starters, all those type of things. Are things that kind of philosophically you're thinking about as a coaching staff. So we want to remain healthy. We want to have a really good game. We want to try to start formulating rotations and stuff like that.
What does it mean for you to kind of start your career here with this exhibition game, with it being so big of a deal with Nolan Richardson Court? How special is that for you?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've tried to embrace the past as much as possible, just because, to me, it's so powerful what's happened here in the past and how many great players, great coaches have been here. Coach Richardson's been awesome to me. We got the chance to go the night before his golf, deal that he had. We were able to partake with and spend some time with him there, and obviously the throwback night for him to come and support us that night, just like we were kind of recognizing him, was really cool as well. So should be a fun night.
With it being an expedition game and the status of Connor's waiver still in question, how often do you feel like you're going to play him?
Probably none. Really, you don't play guys that are sit-out guys anywhere across the board in an exhibition game. So those guys that aren't, say, cleared by the NCAA, they will not play.
You mentioned health. Has everyone stayed healthy throughout training camp? And
for the most part, yeah. Adriel's dealing with a kind of back spasms. Really hasn't done much the last two practices we had, although we took off Monday, and then we took off obviously yesterday because of SEC Media Day. So hopeful that his spasms are doing better, but he's kind of been limited with dunking and things like that, and we've tried to keep him off a lot of the full court stuff. But other than that, we're fully healthy.
How good is it going to be for you guys to play someone other than yourself?
Really good. I think when you go through a whole, since I've been here, which is about 6.5 months, we really haven't competed against anybody but ourselves. That's a long stretch. And then you add in the fact that, they're learning a new system. It's very, very much needed for sure to play somebody outside of our own internal practices that we've had.
Anything in particular that you've kind of honed in on with the guys since the red-white game in practice?
No, I think, anytime you have any competition in front of fans and with referees and so forth, that you're able to go back, look at the film, use that as another teaching tool. But a lot of the areas that we want to improve in, probably going to be the same things we talk about Monday. We want to take care of the basketball and and we got to continue to defensive rebound. Those things are probably going to, all of you will probably get sick of that theme because it's kind of a reoccurring thing for us for sure.
You took Joe and Desi Sills to SC Media Days. Why those guys and how'd they do?
They were awesome. We probably had a combination of the two youngest guys, but I think it's really good. Last year, obviously Adriel got a chance to go, and those type of deals, I think, from player development off-court type stuff, I think that it really helps develop guys to experience that. And obviously Isaiah, that goes without saying why he was there because of his great freshman year that he had. And then we asked our team kind of a little bit unique. I asked them in front of everybody who do you guys think should represent us? I told them Isaiah was going for sure, and who was, some of the guys thought, Silla would be a good name, and because he's worked hard this off season. A couple players had mentioned Jimmy Witt, and but at the end of the day, Desi kind of had more, feedback from his teammates that he was deserving, and a lot of that's because of the work that he's put in. So he was a representative, and I thought both those guys did a great job for us.
Do you get the sense that means a lot to Desi to be kind of put in that spotlight?
I think so. I mean, he seemed really appreciative when we got on the plane. He thanked me several times for bringing him, and I said it really wasn't me. It was your teammates that felt you'd be a great representative for us. And I think that anytime you can bring two sophomores, pretty special at their age to be able to go through that, because a lot of times those type of things are reserved, like seniors are kind of the guys that go, and so for those two young players to experience it, and Isaiah doing it is great for both those guys.
What do you know about UALR's talent, or any scouting report on them at all?
Yeah, I mean, we're kind of unique because we played them in Nevada last year in a regular season game, so I know their four-man is a really good rebounder, really good reaction. They got a guard who can really shoot the basketball. They have another big who can shoot the ball. So I'm pretty familiar with about 4 or 5 of their guys. Obviously, our team is not, so we're starting today. Will be when we start doing our prep, so we'll have Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and we'll even do a little bit of a shoot-around on Sunday. So we'll get some prep time in starting today, where we start going through personnel today, and then tomorrow we'll go through more X and O stuff. And we know that they're a team that causes a lot of turnovers, so that'll be something we need to do a good job of taking care of the basketball. And on the flip side, that last year they turned the ball over a little bit, so we've got to try to be able to create some defense, to create some offense through our defense as well.
Coach, do you know who your starting 5 will be on Sunday, or are you still trying to figure that out?
Yeah, no, we know who it is. We're just not going to really say it right now because in the past I've done that, and then somebody tweaks an ankle or something, so there's no reason to. But I have talked to a couple guys and told them, hey, you're going to come off the bench. Here's why. But it's not etched in stone, meaning going forward. It's a, you think back to, a couple years ago, college basketball started on October 15th. So the calendar has moved up, but the first game really hasn't moved up that much more. So we still got a whole bunch of time left before we open against Rice. So, we might, be a team that has a little bit of a flexible starting unit. That might be who we are. I'm not sure. But I've studied, like the Clippers last year, they were a team that started different starting lineups, and Toronto did it a little bit last year. So we might be a team that goes that route. That's not the route that we went at Nevada last year. We basically started the same 5 for 30 games. But we might be a team that kind of starts a game off based off matchups.
Coach, with exhibition games are big for your team too. They're excited to play against somebody else, but in this case, Little Rock might even be more excited because they're playing the University of Arkansas and how big of a story that is in Little Rock. Have you been in a situation like that coaching-wise? You can share some stuff with your kids about let's make sure this one means, as much to us, because they're going to be on fire.
Yeah, it is going to mean a lot, to Coach Walker's team for sure. Like we understand that. I talked to the team the other day about UTEP going and playing Texas Tech, and UTEP won. And obviously, Texas Tech's coming off a pretty doggone good year, a Final Four team, and UTEP played really well and won by double digits. And this was just last week. So that's just one example, and then you can go all the way back to Syracuse losing to Lemoyne, and I can go on. And I mean, there's a litany of examples of how in exhibition games there has been, in any game you play, I mean, you got to come and bring your best effort, or else the results aren't going to be what you'd like.
Bob sent me about a dozen questions. If I can start running through those.
Only a dozen?
No, I just want to. You probably bumped into Daryl many times over the years. What have y'all had any kind of relationship, or what would you say about with you and Daryl?
Yeah, no, I mean, even for him to bring his his ball club to Reno last year, great respect for him, obviously as a player, and then our paths have crossed a lot over time. A lot of mutual friends. And, the NBA world's really small amongst the coaching fraternity. So, really good guy. And he's actually came to a practice earlier. And so it's, like I said, in the coaching fraternity is a small group of people that you become familiar with and develop a great deal of respect for.
Anything else for Coach?
Coach, how's the staff gelled together so far, and how do you go about separating duties and stuff like that?
Well, it's a trial run, so to speak, for our staff, because like our post-game reports are really, really detailed, and so especially for two of the three assistants, they've never sat on a bench with me, and obviously Coach Mosier has it at 6 different stops. But for Coach Crutch and Coach Corey, it's kind of new, just like practice was. But from a chemistry standpoint, great. We have an incredible support staff. 4 staff members were with us at Nevada, know exactly what we want to do in game. But our huddles, it's going to be the first time that we sit together in a huddle, all of us together, and so I think all that stuff is really good, and it's a great dress rehearsal for us, and so it'll be good for us. And just I want to hit on the court too. Like I think that some of the to have this game, first time that our team's going to take the floor, first time our coaching staff, I think magnifies the unveiling of Coach Richardson's court, and then there's now, because of the timing of when we're doing it, women's basketball is going to be able to be involved. We obviously know about Coach Walker. It made great timing sense with former players that are going to be able to be here. And then, at another date, if we would have chosen another date, there's no time where Bud Walton's going to have 12 days where you could actually lay down the logos and stuff. So there's a lot of reasons why this date really, really worked out perfectly, and kind of the only date that would, based on logistics and so forth. So I just kind of wanted to hit on that as well.
Did you have much of a say on the design, or was that mostly just your take?
Well, we can't just throw Hunter. Like, what if it was kind of all-encompassing? You never know how people are going to respond, right?
Anything else for Coach? All right, appreciate it.
Thanks.